Before we go into the application and things you should prepare in your packet, one of the things I want to ask the panelists is how do you know the expectation? So how do you know if it's 30, 30, 40? How do you know the breakdown if it's not on the job call?
So I can start. Our RPT information is all on our website, and I would suggest that any job application, you go onto the website and find those documents, the promotion and tenure documents. We have reappointment as well as at OSU. So at OSU, you get a 4-year contract. At the end of your 3rd year, you're reappointed. If you're not reappointed, you get a year and we say goodbye, it's been nice to know you. If you are reappointed, you move towards the tenure process. Not all institutions do it that way. The institution where I got tenure, because I didn't get tenure at OSU, I moved there after I had tenure. It was a 6-year process, kind of that typical thing. So you can find those documents. They're public documents. You need to read them because they will make very clear what is required in that college and or department. Some institutions have a college by college document. Some institutions have an institutional document. And some have department by department. At my institution, we have 2 levels for promotion and tenure. We have a university promotion and tenure document that broadly states our expectations in research, teaching, and service. And then each department has their own documents that are more specific, like you must publish at least 2 a year in, and they define those journals or whatever. So every department is different. Some departments, the department I was in, we didn't put numbers on it. We said you have to have an active research agenda. So those are some interpretations there. So you have, but look at that stuff. I'd say do your homework and make sure you know what the expectations are, and then ask questions when you're there if you're unclear.
At Baylor, it's very similar, multiple levels, university level, department, or school level, depending. And a lot of it is in the call or someplace else. So what do you do if it's not clear? One of the things that you can do if it's not clear is you can do a little research on the most recent people who are hired, either in the department or in the school, and see what you can find. A lot of people nowadays have their CVs online. And so you can find out what are their CVs and kind of reverse engineer. What might this have looked like? What kinds of things are they expecting? And then in my experience, the institutions who are focused on teaching will say that. They will say that we are a teaching-centered, we are a teaching-dominant institution, if it's a small liberal arts college or something like that. And so they try to, because one of the things they don't want to do is they don't want to attract somebody who will come and be frustrated, a frustrated researcher who hates doing a 4-4 load and is going to leave at the very first opportunity. So if they're a teaching-centered institution, they will typically put that up front so they can try to find the right fit for their position.
And I suppose with community colleges, obviously the emphasis is going to be on teaching, the willingness in your cover letter that you are aligned with the mission and you're willing to teach the classes and go with what the department curriculum is going to suggest.
Also think about the position. I've applied for a job at Research One, but it was a professor of practice. So what I needed to do is not talk so much about my research, but talk more about my teaching. But it was at a Research One. So pay attention to that call and what they're asking you to do.